March 8 is International Women's Day. International Women's Day started from labor movements in North America and Europe. In 1909, the first National Women's Day was observed in the U.S. on February 28 by the Socialist Party of America. In 1910, the Socialist International in Copenhagen established an International Women's Day. Women's issues from the right to vote to right to equality are not unknown. Women have been fighting for these causes. If we look at the issue of women leadership and participation, on an average, women hold only 7% of ministerial positions and 15% in national parliaments in all the 9 countries of South Asia region. Less than half of South Asian countries have a constitutional quota for women in the national parliaments. In South Asia, only 7% women are members of political parties. A look now at women's economic empowerment in South Asia. 74.8% of rural women in India are agricultural workers, but only 9.3% own the land. At 22%, Pakistan has the least labor force participation. More than 80% of women in the region are employed in vulnerable jobs which lack the protection of labor laws. Limits on women's participation in the workforce across the Asia-Pacific region cost the regional economy an estimated US $89 billion every year. Women account for nearly 2/3 of Sri Lanka's 1 million international immigrants, many of whom are employed in the Gulf states as domestic workers. Only 4 out of 9 South Asian countries have equal inheritance laws between men and women for land and property. As a result, between 2001 and 2009, women's land ownership has increased 3-fold. Talking about women in the workplace in South Asia, there are 50 million home-based workers in South Asia, of whom 4 out of 5 are women. More than 80% of women in the region are also employed in vulnerable jobs, work that typically lacks the protection of labor laws. Women make up the overwhelming majority of domestic workers, jobs that often lack basic employment rights. Women account for nearly 2/3 of Sri Lanka's 1 million international migrants, many of whom are employed in the Gulf state as domestic workers. Together, these women contribute $1.7 billion annually in remittances to the economy of Sri Lanka. According to a UN report, women's lives have improved in Caucasus and Central Asia. The region has made progress on Millennium Development Goals for gender equality. The report says that the region continued to advance on promoting gender equality and empowering women and achieved parity in primary and secondary education between boys and girls. The ratios between the enrollment rate of girls and that of boys are 0.98% and 0.97 in primary and secondary education respectively, falling within the accepted range for parity. At the post-secondary or tertiary level, more women are enrolled than men. In the region, parity in the number of women and men holding wage-earning jobs has been nearly achieved, with women holding 44 out of every 100 wage-earning jobs in the non-agricultural sector in 2011. The report says women in the region are also gaining more power in politics. The proportion of seats held by women in single or lower houses of national parliament increased from 7% in 2000 to 18% in 2013. The region has one of the lowest maternal mortality ratios among all developing regions, 46 maternal deaths per 100,000 live births in 2010. Asia Desk, DD News.